in the introduction, Dani.
I'm just filling time.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I
Oh,
will
it's
be
good.
showing. As Diney said, I'll be showing, and I'm also a WDA board member, and I'm the president of the new North Carolina affiliate. Let's see who else. I wonder where Kristen is.
Well, I wouldn't worry about waiting.
Okay, cool. So, thank you guys for showing up. We know the World Show is it's a big commitment and there's a lot of unknowns that go into it. And if you've never been to the WDA World Show or the Lazy E, I'm sure you guys have a ton of questions. So I've been going for several years now. And I was an amateur and I went completely by myself the first time. And then I dropped my amateur card and now I'm a pro and I bring back a team. So I've experienced the show on a lot of different uh, perspectives, I guess. So, with that being said, I highly, highly, highly that recommend that you guys read the prize list. And I know that sounds ridiculous, and I know you guys have probably heard that, but there's so much great information in the prize list, and a lot of people's questions can be answered there. I'm gonna link the World Show website in the chat, and then if you scroll down just a little bit, you can click it and download the PDF immediately. I'm gonna be sharing some of that information in the webinar, just over some of the most frequently asked questions that you guys have. But what I do, even though I go every single year, I print out the prize list every single year and I put it in a binder with all my show information. So I'll put like ride times, patterns, or tests, health certificates. I put everything in one huge binder, including the prize list. And even though I go every year, even though I know it, sometimes things are tweaked and changed. So it's important to read it. And even though I'm pretty familiar with it, I'll still read it a couple of times before I go to the World Show. Just things change. Um, so with, oh, yes. What's up,
Me.
Diney?
It's me. Sorry. I just wanted to tell everybody that we have just made a few updates to the prize list. So always, always, always um, go off of what is on the website currently. And then there we go. And then before you go, we won't make any changes, within weeks before the show. I think you're probably pretty safe to print it out now. But if you haven't looked at it in 5 months, go back and look at it.
Um, Yeah, yeah. Sometimes things get tweaked. So, with that being said, so about Lazy E, I come from North Carolina, and so typically it's very, very hot and humid where I'm at. So, when I go to Oklahoma, it's typically a little bit drier and just a hair cooler. And so for us, we feel a little bit of relief. However, if you're coming from up north, a lot of the horses I've seen from up north kind of have a little bit of a harder time with the heat. It's not anything too crazy or too extreme, but I highly recommend that you guys bring fans. Um, put fans in your stalls, maybe put fans in your tack room or fans around. Last year was pretty toasty. It got pretty hot. And so that's one of the things I recommend. With it being so hot, do everything that you can with your horse to prepare them to drink water. So if you have some horses drink water, great. Some are a little iffy. I highly recommend electrolytes with your horses. Some horses love Gatorade. They make like this, it almost looks like a sweet feed. It's called Thirst Quencher. You just grab a handful of it and stick it in your feed bucket. There's tons of different methods. Some people feed mashes to make sure their horses are getting moisture and fluids in. But that's one of the biggest things because I've seen several horses come to the World Show and they stop drinking water, and then we see typically horses colic. And that goes with any show, really. It's not just specific to our World Show, but just be prepared for that. That's one of the biggest things, keeping you and yourself cool, and then keeping you and your horse hydrated are really important. September is kind of a toss up in weather, I would say, Diney. Usually it's a little warmer, but I've seen the first year I went, it was a little, I felt on the cooler side and it was like raining and storming a little bit. So definitely be prepared. because it's Oklahoma,
Yeah.
the weather will change every 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can
Um,
get rain. We can get rain too.
yeah, so I recommend like rain slickers for your tack, like the ones that go from like the ear to your horse's tail. That came in handy one year for me because it's a little bit of a hike from the barns to the arena. We go up a clay hill. And so if it's raining, you could get wet. Um, th yeah, that I think that's the big thing as far as rain. Yeah. And so anyway, oh, was there a message? No. Okay. Um, the grounds. So we have basically two different areas on the grounds, and I'm trying to see if I can pull up a map of the Lazy E. We're really cool. So they have a bunch of new barns set up this year, which is really exciting. So we have two different barn areas, one up on the hill by the big main arena, and then one down on the bottom. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the map went.
Let me see if I can pull it. You want me to
Okay,
pull it up?
I got it. And then
Okay.
it's for the pink buckle, but we'll get the gist of it, I think.
Oh, I can pull up the hours because it's got the
Okay, that'd be great.
okay. Yeah, I gotta
Thank you,
let me
Diney.
find it again. Sorry.
My computer's being so slow. It's storming right now, and
Oh
we have
no.
satellite internet.
Uh-oh. Let me see if I can find it again here. Do. Map. I've got kind of got the old one, but it marks where, let's see here.
There's
Sorry,
basic.
everybody.
No, you're good. While
Um,
we're waiting for that,
Here,
there's
sharing
basically
isn't,
two different stabling areas.
you've
Oh
got
yeah,
to allow me to share.
I clicked it. Should be good.
Okay, I found the old one. Can you
Okay.
see it?
Oh yeah, there you go.
This is the
Okay.
old one, but it shows where the little paddocks will be.
Yeah. So, okay. So if you guys look, can you guys see it okay? So there's a main entrance up in the upper left-hand corner, and that's where you guys are going to come in with your horse trailers. You guys are going to come down that road, perfect, Diney, and you're going to get stopped right there by our some of our staff. What they're going to do is they're going to ask for your health certificate, they're going to ask for your Coggins, and they're going to ask for your vaccination record. And so what I do is I make sure I have all of that with me up in the very front of the truck because they will not let you unload your horses until you verify that information. Just a safety hazard. So you're going to go up there, they're going to verify that your horses are there, you have your paperwork, and then you'll be asked to go, then you're able to go to the barns that you're in. So you'll see right there where Diney's showing, those are stalls 101 through 550. They're like a shed row kind of barn with stalls on each side that face outward with an overhang. And then you have what's called the east barn to the right of it, next to it, and that's big and kind of like more of like what you see at a lot of facilities. It's like a bigger, just huge roof barn with several aisles there. Um, and then where those little circles are like the paddock areas and the round pen areas. And so there is unless you've reserved your own paddock, which is its own separate thing, we have round pens available. You can use it for lunging, you can use it to kind of turn your horse out, but there's a 30-minute limit and you can't just leave your horse up there. So please be mindful because there's usually after about like 7 o'clock in the morning, there's a little bit of a line that people are waiting. Please be mindful of that. It's just nice etiquette up there. Um, and then, so next to the East Barn, it says the Prefert Arena. That is our warm-up area. Um, it's not like a ginormous place, but it's nice to go warm up there. If you are showing in the covered arena, and that's your intro and basic test, I highly recommend that you guys go warm up and do a lot of your warm up in the Prefert arena in the outside arena. And because we have, I think, a 15-minute window before your classes, your ride time before you're allowed to come up into the covered arena, and it gets very congested up there. So if you have a green horse or maybe a rider that kind of struggles with warm up, congestion and traffic, definitely utilize that outside warm up area. It's typically on the quieter side of things. So that's the bottom area. And then to the left of stalls 101 through 550 is the stall office. That's the office that you're going to go to if you have a stall problem, if you need to order shavings. They've got fans, fly spray, ulcer guard. They've got all sorts of stuff in there. Um, so that's who you're going to go to for like facility stuff. Then right below those stalls, you're going to see RV hookups. That's where I personally like to stay in my horse trailer because on that backside there's some shade there and some trees. Now those spots do get taken up pretty quick, but they have water and electric hookups there. So if you go south from there, there is an earth bridge that goes over over that reservoir, and it's red clay. So if you have a gray horse or just be mindful of that. It stays pretty clean. As you're walking across that earth bridge, stay to the right because there's going to be traffic going both directions. So just be mindful of that, especially if you've got a huge crowd, because I know we all love to walk up with a horse and rider team. Just be mindful of other pairs because there might be a horse that's coming close on their ride time and they might be rushing. So, even though you might be kind of a little bit more, casual, just be mindful that you're giving space for people who are kind of hustling back and forth, or trainers like me who have got like several riders in several divisions and they're riding like four divisions too. We might be kind of on a mission and hustling through there. Um, we don't allow golf carts across the earth bridge. It's just a safety hazard because you're going to see at times that earth bridge does get congested. So just be mindful of that. So as you come up the hill, right to the right of that earth bridge is going to be your covered arena, and that's where your intro and basic tests are going to be. They're in the small arenas, so I would highly recommend if you haven't been showing in the small arena, the 20 by 40, get acquainted because it is a little bit different as far as your geometry. It stays nice in there with the shade. I wouldn't say that it's like cold in there, but it's definitely a temperature difference than it is outside, which is kind of nice. We ask that you guys be mindful up by the railing of the covered arena, just because there are horses showing down there. Please be careful shuffling chairs, running, yelling. Just be mindful that there are horses showing. Be considerate. Inside that covered arena, if you go to you're going to go all the way around. That is the WDAA show office. So, that's where Diney, are we picking up ribbons in there this year or
Yes.
in the indoor? Yeah. So you'll go get your test in the big indoor arena, and then you'll come back and pick up your ribbons, show packets. If you have any questions for our show secretary staff, that's where you're gonna go.
No, not in the
No,
WDAA office.
just
In
kidding.
the
You're gonna go in the indoor for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just WDAA, we're not show. So,
Yeah.
but this is where you get your ribbons and sign up for your you pick up your golf carts here at the beginning of the show, you return your golf cart keys here. We've usually got some form of raffle or something going on. That's where you do all of that. That's where you pick up your your packets and everything like that is in the entry office, which is in the main arena
Right.
across the
And
parking.
that's also the area on um sorry, I know we shifted the day, so I'm trying to remember. On Monday evening before the show kicks off, that's where we're going to have our exhibitor meeting. So that's a super, super important meeting to go to, especially if it's your first time showing at Lazy E. Um,
Make sure it's
it
bigger.
we basically go and we talk about the rules, our etiquette, expectations, also it is so helpful and such. We go over our events that we're having because most nights there is some sort of special thing happening. It's pretty great. Oh, Kristen made it. Hey. Um,
Samson hit his eye.
no.
I don't know on what. It had a little hematoma in it.
Oh,
So my phone was not with me, and I'm like, okay, I just have to handle his eye. He's
You're
fine.
good. Horses always
Good.
come first. So we were
I'm
just
like,
talking, we were just kind of showing the facility map, and we had already gone through the bottom barns, and we were in the covered arena, and we were talking about the exhibitor meeting, and how important it is for people to go to it. Um,
very. Did you talk
yeah,
about arrival?
yeah, we already did.
Okay, so when you come and where the offices are and
Yep.
where you get your shavings, and did you talk about asking anybody to fill in holes if they have it?
No, I didn't. But if you have holes, you're going to go to the stall office. So anything facility related, you're going to go to the stall office up by those stalls, not WDAA and not the indoor.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
and they're
switch
actually
over.
happy to fill those for you too. Hi, Diney.
Hi, I found the larger map.
Oh, yay.
I
Oh,
found the most
perfect.
current map. So can you all see
Cool.
this?
Yeah.
It's kind of small. Maybe I'm just small.
Yeah, I'm going to see if
Maybe
I
just
can
zoom
make
in on
it
it.
there. Okay, so, whoops. So what I wanted to show everybody is if you're in the, here we go. So this is the same map as we had before. So you come in when you arrive, you'll check in, you'll find out where your stalls are if you don't already know, because stalls will be posted on the website. And Susan will, the show secretary, give you a heads up about that. But if you're in these new barns over here, you'll still come in this entry. They will check your papers, and then you will turn around and go back out the entrance, take a right, and another right, and you'll be at the barns, the new barns.
Yep.
So, okay, sorry about that.
No, you're good. That's awesome. And for those of you, this is a good point because I like how it has the little horsies on the left side.
The
There,
trail.
yeah, there's a little trail. So if you want your horse to go on a little bit of a hack and not go across the earth bridge, there is a trail. It's easy to find and it's easy to see. It kind of just goes alongside the road up there, and it's nice and it's very gradual, and there's like no one over there. So if your horse has trouble with crowds, or maybe they like to kick, or they just get a little like maybe they're a little more amped, I highly recommend taking that trail to the left on over. It's just going to be a little bit quieter and not as congested.
I have never
Um,
taken that trail.
it's nice.
It's
Yeah,
not
I like,
scary. I went around the other way.
yeah, it's not, it's a nice little hack. And there's also, if you look at the other there's like a little horse trail over by the warm-up arena that we just talked about. If you guys go that way, there's this huge open field. It says pasture 14, and you can find some really small trails to kind of just walk around and hack around, which I love doing, especially when I get there to kind of just walk my horse around and get him nice and loose. There's some hills and very terrain, not anything big. Like when I say trails, it's not like mountains or parks, like Parks and Rec kind of thing. But there's just if you don't want to ride in the arena and you just want to kind of switch it up, it's always really quiet and nice over there.
Yeah. That's,
And it's a good
I'm
place to
going to
handle
go do that this
horses
year,
too.
Amanda.
Huh?
I'm going to go over there this year.
You should. You should come over with us.
I will.
We're gonna go over in a
I
big
always
group.
went around. Maybe I was just too busy, but this year I won't be as busy. So we'll see.
There
Okay.
is another way to get to the stalls, I mean, to the show besides going over the land bridge, and it is the other
The
trail.
other trail.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, so the exhibitor meeting, we kind of talked about that in the show office. So that's the covered arena, rings 4 and 3. If you go up the hill just a little bit more, you're going to go into the big indoor arena. And that's where all of your rail classes, your horsemanship classes, and then level 1 through level 5 will all be in there, as well as your freestyles. All of our freestyles are in the indoor.
Isn't basic usually there after on 3 and 4?
Hmm. In the
Basic.
big indoor?
Yeah. At the end.
No,
The
it
intro and
probably
basic
won't be.
freestyles.
Used to be basic was on at the very end of the show. But anyway.
No, no, we got too many entries now.
So
Um,
Diney, what's like the number one problem you have with people during check-in?
Taking too long to unload.
Yeah, that's a great
So
point.
you need to remember you need to get, get your horses, get your stalls set, get your horses out and in their stalls, get everything out of your trailer, dump it in your aisleway, and then go park your trailer because there's, 50 trailers behind you waiting to do the same thing. So you don't want to
Yeah.
make people wait or make horses wait in their trailers to get in.
So
Yeah.
what's the busiest drop-off time?
Honestly, I do not know.
It's usually
Sunday
the
morning.
the day before the rail classes.
So Monday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday and Monday are going to be our busiest days to come in. And the closer you get to the show, the busier it's going to get. And when you do pull into the barn area, it's typically wide enough to get two rigs in there. So don't park right in the middle of the road. Kind of move over to the side. And that way you're not blocking the entire row. Inside the permanent barns, 1 through 5, you cannot drive a vehicle through the long side. You just have to go around the perimeter. So just be as speedy as you can and then move your rig out. Please don't
and
like
I,
A big
unpack
fun mess.
everything and like set up your stalls.
So what
That's a
Bob and
really
I
good
usually do is come in, well, we like to come in early anyway, just because it's a long haul. And we stay outside. We stay in Tulsa the night before, so we can just come in at 9 in the morning on or whenever, like by 11 or something, probably on Saturday. And it's usually really quiet, but that
point.
takes, then you're there an extra day, but it also gives your horse an extra day to kind of hang out, get used to it. You can walk them around. You can help Diney.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's
everybody.
and
what I do too. I lay over the night before nearby.
you have to tell me where that is because the guy didn't answer the phone. But anyway, the other
Oh, yeah.
thing, a couple times we went to the Cowboy Museum in Oklahoma City on that day off, and it's spectacular.
It is really cool. Yeah, in the stockyards.
Yeah, it's one
Um,
of the most wonderful museums I've ever been in. It was really, really worth it.
yeah.
Take
And
time.
there is a Tractor Supply nearby too that just popped in the top of my head just in case if you need anything. Um, um, okay. So yeah, you have the big indoor arena, and then so we have the show office. So that's where you're gonna pick up your test. Um, and then they have like a little score sheet that you can kind of look and see where things are kind of falling, and it's kind of all handwritten in there. And then as soon as all of the tests are finished, then the class will be tied. So another what I do instead of checking walking all the way up or driving up with the golf cart, if you look on Show Secretary on your phone, it's usually pretty updated and you can kind of check classes and your scores through there and then you're like, oh, the class has been placed, and then I typically go up there. And that's in the show office. So when you walk into the indoor arena, it's going to be right to the right hand side. Typically the show photographer is right next to them and they'll have like a backdrop set up, and then there's a bunch of vendors in there. So be sure, so this is something I want to stress to like all the membership. Check out the vendors and please support them because they help out, they help and support our show too. So the more we support them, the more they'll come back.
Who do you
Um,
have this year? Who do you guys have this year?
oh, I don't even
Uh,
know.
we have the usual tack shop that is just inside the door when you go into the main arena. The usual photographer, videographer. We've got we've got a couple that, like an insurance guy that you're not going to buy stuff at, but we should have a clothing person here
Ooh,
in their trailer right next to the where you go over the bridge.
gotcha.
Is Yonder Horse coming?
Pardon me?
Yonder Horse?
No, no, because we need more people shopping
Yeah.
to get them to come back.
Right.
And, and speaking of that, oh, it says at check-in, instructions said one will back up after checking in. I have a 27-foot LQ trailer where I'll be able to get around to where I need to go. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
totally. It's a
you
wide
can
road.
drive, you'll be able to drive through. You don't need to back up. You just drive through and around.
Yeah. So you can either turn in like right where that third little horse is right there, or you can go around like around that barn and then cut left and then drive in through there where they said those stall lots are. So there's two entrances there.
Yeah,
Lynn, are you
down.
camping?
Yeah, we talked about camping
Oh,
a
she's
little bit down there. We
camping.
haven't gotten up to the top yet. Um But yeah, inside the indoor arena, we have the cantina, which is great for like lunch options, and then that's where we're going to host our lifetime achievement awards dinner. We have like our freestyle little cocktail stuff up there. It's a lot of fun. And
The
then
exhibitors party will be up there and the World Pap dinner, which is a ticketed invite
mhm.
uh thing. And then the awards will not be there will not be there this year because we outgrew it.
Which is a good problem.
Yeah, we
It'll be in the
will
main arena.
the awards will be in the main arena and the stands.
Yeah.
That's
The cantina's pretty good. They've got a lot of different options. There's also a little like coffee trailer down by the covered arena, and they're pretty tasty. And they've got like breakfast sandwiches and coffee and all that too.
I
But
also
other,
will say that there's a concession stand down here
oh
in
yeah, I always forget about them.
they have the best breakfast burritos on earth.
Yeah,
Highly recommend. And it's right around the middle on the out on this side of the main arena. Um, what do you call that? A concourse?
yeah,
Uh, very, very
aisleway.
good.
by the front doors with the big.
Very, very good breakfast burritos.
I've never had
And,
them.
and that's also where Saratoga, is that how you say it? Saratoga?
Yoga. Yoga territory.
Tioga territory. This is where
Yeah,
the yeah, the award jackets can be ordered and they have a lot of apparel also.
They have a ton
yeah,
of stuff.
and they do awesome work. They get busiest the last day of the show, and so if you wait to place your order until the last day, they're gonna have to ship their order to you. So if you have something specific in mind, or if you win something early and you want to have it to take home, make sure you put that order in early. Otherwise, they gotta ship it to you. They just get so busy because everyone's putting all their wins on their jacket on the last day, and that's what I do. I had them ship it to me just because I wait till the awards banquet to get my final stuff. But they're great and they're really awesome to work with. Um,
And they leave early too that day,
yeah,
usually.
they do. They kind of pack up early. And then Diney, we got the new barns over to the right side. We haven't talked about those yet. Um,
Ooh.
Yeah, tell us
uh,
about the new barns, Diney. I signed up for that.
I'm not exactly sure everybody will be. I think I've posted, Lazy E has posted photos and videos, I believe, on their website and on their social media page. I think I put some up. I'm not sure. I think we were waiting. Our person went the day after a youth rodeo, and it was like a tornado had gone through. It was just a pit. So,
Susan
um,
Peacock has some pictures.
I'm sorry.
Susan Peacock had some pictures, not a lot, but some.
Yeah, did she put them on her Facebook page?
No, she just sent them to me because I asked.
Yeah, yeah. So I can get some more. I'd like to wait until it's cleaned up a little bit better. But these barns here,
Have you been in there,
uh,
Diney?
I'm sorry.
Have you personally been in there?
No,
they
no.
just finished them.
Yeah, they just finished them in the beginning of June, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're, it's a so let's talk about barn 14, 15. So it's a big barn. There's two aisles. So one they call barn 14, one they call barn 15. So the middle aisle is stalls back to back. They do not open to the outside. The sun,
But
this
there's
is,
ventilation.
yeah, they're not closed on the sides. There's screens, like a kind of a sunscreen on which way are we looking here?
Yeah,
Where's
which
my,
way does the sun come up and
so
down?
the west, so on the west side, they've got sunscreens. On
Which
this
side is the
side,
west side?
I'm sorry.
Which side is the west side?
The side
So
towards the
here's,
wash racks.
yeah, so this this is west.
over here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sun's coming in this direction. So they've got sunscreens here and one on this side here. There is no sunscreen for barn 18. I don't think we'll be using this. This road here.
That's a shed row too. It's no stalls back to back on 18. And it
Correct.
faces the neighborhood, she said.
Yeah, there's a neighborhood back here. There's kids playing and stuff like that. This isn't a super busy road back here, but she said it gets pretty hot in this barn because it's kind of down in a hole. So I don't believe we'll be using that barn. It is a construction area, and we have been told that there will be no construction while we are there, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be construction equipment around. So this is a huge area that is under construction, and this will, in the future, next year, be stalls, and then we'll have a warm-up arena here.
Where's that?
So
I don't see your pointer.
where it says under construction,
Okay.
um,
Maybe that's my pointer on the wash rack. It is.
okay, what under where it
So
says
there'll be
under
a warm up right next to like ring 1 and 2
yes,
outside. Nice.
not this year though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be under cover. It'll be under this cover here. So they're new stalls. They are still 10 by 10, but they're bars in between. The stalls, not front and back. The backs of the stalls are solid, but bars in between, so you can get air circulation there. Um, there's concrete ramps that go to these stalls, and there's grass around them, but there are some curbs, apparently. Um, so you'll walk your horses from this area, past the wash racks and up into the arenas. So it's still a hike. It's about an equal distance,
Yeah.
maybe even more from the permanent barns to go around and get into the arenas.
Oh, so you can't go through that other spot. Gotcha.
Not
No,
yet.
because this is construction. That's a construction area. So you go around those stock pens that are always there
Yep.
and then up and in. There are new wash racks here. We'll have porta potties. There aren't any bathrooms over here, and there's no bathrooms over where the other barns are either, but we have nice porta potties and hand
Yeah.
washing stations everywhere.
Yeah, the porta potties are kept really nice. If you absolutely need to go to an inside bathroom, trust me, I get it. There's inside bathrooms in the indoor arena.
And they showed a video of bathrooms over on the other side somewhere, Diney. I don't know.
What?
The video on their Instagram, on the Lazy E Instagram, had
Oh, I
laundry.
think
Oh, that's over here. So there's new, we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the RV hookups over here?
yeah, real quick, let me address some things in the chat. So Chris asked, he said his horses, or sorry, I don't know if girl Chris or guy Chris. But anyway, Chris asked, they said that their horse is big, 17 hands, 1,600 pounds, Clydesdale Cross, which stalls will best suit his needs. So I would book your stalls right now. So all the stalls on the facility are 10 by 10. There's 6 double stalls in the bottom permanent barns on the east barn. They're probably already full. I do know that there's more double stalls in the upper barns, like the new barns. So that's probably going to be your better luck to find a double stall.
Susan sent a note saying that we should be able to accommodate anybody with a double stall.
Yeah, but
Good.
I highly recommend if your horse is that big, I would spring for a larger double stall if you can.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
this would be for like next year, not this year.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I would spring. And if you want a double stall in the east barn, I would send my entries in ahead of time and have it waiting there or enter right when it opens because those 6 double stalls in the east barn pretty much fill up immediately. However, we can accommodate any other double stall in the new barns, like as Kristen said. And then
Okay,
Lynn
thank you.
said,
And I'm girl Chris. Thank you.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. I apologize. Um, and then Lynn said, you missed the info. Where will you warm up? So if you look down by the East Barn, which is down by the bottom, there's an orange arena over there. That's our warm up area. Um, it's good to warm up there, especially if you're in the intro and basic divisions, because it gets quite congested in the covered arena. And they only allow you to go into the covered arena warm up area about 15 minutes before your ride time. So you don't have much time in there, and it gets very congested. And since it's intro and basic, sometimes you have people who may not navigate traffic very well, or you have green horses in there.
We do
So
limit the amount of horses that can be in this warm-up arena, so it's usually um, three three
it's
horses
three
warming
ahead.
up. Yeah, so it's
So a
six
total of
horses.
six.
Yeah, six horses maximum are allowed in this small warm-up area before you go into the ring. And I
It,
believe it's eight in the
yes.
large ring. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have 20 or 30 minutes in the indoor, but I've never had an issue getting in there. Typically we're allowed more in there. I think it's 20 minutes before your ride time. Um, but yeah, we do limit that. It's just a safety thing. Um,
And it isn't by time, it's by horse. They'll
yeah,
allow a certain number of horses in the warm-up at any time.
yeah. You can kind of guesstimate though, because like if your ride time is like at
Yeah.
8:30, it's about 5 minutes per test. So know that you're probably not going to be allowed to go inside the covered arena before 8:15.
Yep.
That's how I kind of do my math.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. This is something I recommend that you guys do, and I did it my first year and it saved my tail. Get your horse and walk from wherever your barn is to whatever arena you're showing and time it before your first day of showing. So that way you know exactly how long it takes you. Because I estimated, oh, it'll take me 3 minutes to walk up there. It took me 8. That 5 minutes can make or break your time when it's because like I was like I can walk up there, but sometimes your horse kind of is kind of a little more pokey. So time your walk to whatever show arena you're going to be in. Anne asks, is the covered arena warm up envision to the show area, or is there a solid wall, or do they have a 2 ring setup? We have a 2 ring setup, and they're side by side, and that's for both the indoor and the covered arena. So we have like 2 arenas set like this. There's a small space in the middle, but
When you first get there, you can go see it all, right, Diney?
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. And you
Take
can
them
ride and walk your
inside.
horses in there.
Yeah. Take them in. You can go and ride if you want.
And something that I do, obviously not on show days or the day of show days, but when you get there, I walk my horses in there and I'll have a team member sit in the judges stand or because there's like an elevated table in front of your arena. And I have them shuffle chairs, shuffle paperwork, move really big. So that way a horse is just used to movement up there. It typically doesn't weird many horses out, but you just never know.
You're talking about the big arena?
All of them.
Yeah.
Both.
Well, the wall is right there in the indoor, and people
Yeah,
sit their horse up there, their kid up there.
yeah, there's and then on the outside of the indoor arena, there's walls like right there. They have moved the arena off the wall a little bit, which helps. But what about the warm-up people? Oh, so it's a small court in the covered, and so right when you enter, there's like a small warm-up area, like at the bottom, like when you first walk in. It is vision to the horses showing. There's not a solid wall. There's like these like metal fence grates, and that's the same for both sides, both the indoor and the covered. So there's
They
always
call
horses that they
those
can see.
they call those panels pig panels. They're like 4 feet tall, maybe.
Hmm.
And that's what divides the warm-up area from the courts.
And there's usually banners like very tightly secured, so it's not like a solid wall, but it's a solid it like you can't see through it. But your horses are tall enough to where they can see other horses if that's your concern. Um, cool. So we talked about the barns, we talked about the wash racks. So RV hookups. So over here on the West Lock, you have your full hookups available. So they have your sewage, your electric and your water hookups. And up there, we also have a shower and laundry facility. So if you are camping and you don't have plumbing and you need a shower, or if your shower goes out, we have a shower facility and a laundry facility, which I'm actually really excited for the laundry.
Is that the West Lot, Amanda?
It's right. So you see those purple full
Purple.
hookup
Okay, yeah.
like things, the shower and laundry is in that green box.
Oh, cool. Is that one of
Uh,
those trailer things or is that
it's
It's a
like this,
building.
yeah, it's
okay,
It's
a
the
building.
building that they show on the video on the Lazy E Facebook page.
got it.
Yeah. And
Chris
so down,
asked what the earliest was you can haul in too. Did you guys already cover that?
yeah,
Maybe you could throw that one back out there. Is
yeah.
it Saturday morning?
Yeah, so we allow Hollands on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. They do not allow anyone to come before 9 a.m. How far will you have to walk your parked rig to the barn area, and can I take my horse to your rig? So you see where it says the day haul parking trailer drop off? It's in the teal box off of Lazy E Drive. That's where a lot of people drop their trailers.
So you can take
If
your horse there.
you can take your horse there, it's a little bit of a walk, but
It's not recommended because it's
it's
all blacktop. We
y-
don't like having horses over there.
yeah, it's
If you're going to
hot.
take your horse to your stall, I mean, if you're going to take your horse to your trailer, there's trailer parking here for, like live-in trailers, the RV parking. Is this where you put your RV,
Yeah,
Amanda?
that's where I park. Yeah, and you
Where is
pay
it?
for a spot there.
Yeah,
Which
so all
one
of
is
these
that,
here,
Amanda?
these stall lot, this is all RVs, and that's mostly
But
a lot of trailers.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't recommend taking your horse over there. People will
Sure.
have like chairs and grills. I mean, it's set up for camping, not necessarily for horses. You could, if you get like the stall lots 14A through 26 and stall lot 27 through 38, it's a grassy area beside behind your horse trailer, like the tail of your horse trailer. So you could take your horse back there theoretically and tack them up, but
Really, none of this is recommended. That's why we
no.
require you to have a stall, is because there's really
Hmm.
nowhere to show out of a trailer.
Yeah, it's not the best idea.
That's why you should get a tack stall.
Hmm. Most people do. Um, yeah. Um, and up on the west lot, it is all concrete and asphalt, so just be mindful of that.
That's on a hill.
And it's on a hill. Um, and then everything to the southwest of that, all of those yellow boxes, it's all the Lazy E Ranch, and you're not allowed to just go over there. Now, they do offer tours, and I highly recommend them. They're fun to like go through the ranch, but those are all private areas that are not a part of WDAA or like the actual Lazy E arena itself. So be respectful because it's trespassing. There's also a neighborhood on the other side, which I'm not worried about you guys going and trespassing over there, but yeah. Um,
Tiny, how is the temperature in the indoor now that they got a new, um, like they got a new air conditioner, I think she told me.
Well, temperature is probably not going to be great because we now have to pay for air conditioning. We've never had to pay for it before. So it'll probably be about the same it has been. Which is, tolerable, what, 70s, high 70s.
Okay, because it's pretty hot there.
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
So bringing it down from 100 to 70 in that giant thing is
And
still cooler than outside.
True.
And there is handicap and disabled parking right by the arenas. And what areas are we allowed to ride on the ranch? We're not allowed to ride on the ranch, but you see those green little lines? We kind of talked about it earlier. Those are the areas that you're allowed to trail ride. And where it says pasture 14, it's open over there. And then there's like a little earth bridge, and you can kind of come around, and then you can go all the way over here and kind of follow the perimeter of Lazy E Drive. And it's all earth, it's not concrete. So it's very horse friendly, depending if you have a barefoot horse or a shod horse.
And again,
Um,
this is all in the prize list. This map is in the
yep,
prize list.
it's okay. You're fine.
Randy,
Um,
where's the turnout stalls? Or did you guys go over that already?
we already went over it, and we went over turnout etiquette.
Okay.
It's all in pasture 13.
Yep.
Yep. Um, Yeah, so that's kind of the map and the location of everything. I recommend a golf cart if you're able to, because it is a lot of walking back and forth and driving back and forth. Um, but it's not too terrible.
Golf
Do you want
carts
to
you
go?
pick up here.
Yep. Oh, one more thing, parking. So during the day, guys, you're allowed to park over by the stalling office and then walk to your barns. We do not allow vehicle parking along the aisles because it's a fire and safety hazard, and they will get on to you about that. So, it's just a courtesy thing. So you'll park right over where it says stalling and camping office and then walk right over. It's not a far walk.
No parking in between these barns here. And we had a lot of problems with that last year.
A lot of problems. People were just very disregarding that. Should we go over the main stuff in the prize list? I've got it pulled up, Diney.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So I'll take over screen. Do we have any other questions right now as far as locations before we go over like the big stuff in the prize list? No? Can we
You
park
can
by the
get,
new barns?
yeah, there you go. There's, if you see, there's teal lot 1 through 12. So there's parking lots on that side where you can park.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna pull up the prize list. Again, like I talked about earlier, I recommend you guys printing it off right before you leave and putting it in a binder with your health papers, your Coggins, your papers if you're going to like a Breed High Score Award, just in case. Like I make copies of everything and then like ride time schedules, and I put it all in a binder, because you'll be surprised about how often you go through this prize list. So I'm guessing that if you're on here, typically you're already qualified or most likely entered. But the qualifying criteria is right on the first page. I'm not going to go over that. You guys can look at the prize list and read it yourselves. Up here at the very top of the second page, you can see all of the different things that we have. We have like competitors party and silent auction. We have freestyles, 4 days of tests, and then 1 day of rail classes. Down here, you'll see the judges listed. You can see who they are, where they're from, and then, you know, Lillian Evanview is judging the rail classes. You got the board of directors. So down here are like important phone numbers. This is why I print them out, just in case I need to get a hold of someone. I haven't in the past, but the show manager is Jim Porche. He is amazing. He is a wonderful person to work with. And then we have Vivian. She's our show coordinator. You'll see her in the WDAA show office a lot of the time. At least that's where I normally see her. She's also a lovely, wonderful, kind human being. Then we have Susan and Julia. They're the show secretaries. They're going to be inside the covered arena, or sorry, the indoor arena at that show office. Yeah, and that's one thing. So if you guys are new, this is one of the most special things about WDA World Show. The culture is unlike any other show environment you've been in. Everyone's polite, everyone's kind, we cheer each other on, we respect our horses. Our classes are live streamed. So just keep that in mind. Conduct yourself in a way to where if someone was videoing you, you're not ashamed or upset about, you don't have to explain yourself because people are always watching. And I get we all have bad rides, but we all just, it's a very positive, kind environment, and you're gonna make tons of friends. And I feel like it's like a family reunion every year. It's the coolest show ever.
Along those lines, Amanda, it is on Clip Your Horse.
Yeah,
If you go on Clip My Horse, and it's on there from 23 and 24, so you can watch the whole thing.
yeah.
Still, it's still living on there, probably forever. I don't know, Diney, if they live forever out there, but
It's Clip My Horse and on Total Horse Channel.
Total Horse Channel doesn't have all the rides. Clip My Horse has all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So here are some important dates. So it says the entry closing date is August 26th. Last year we filled up before then. So if you haven't entered yet and you need to, kind of think about that. I don't know
You
how
know how
close we
close
are
we
on
are,
entries,
Diney?
Diney.
I have not heard yet. I asked
Okay.
Susan about that and I haven't heard, but
Okay.
we were well over halfway last week. And
Yeah.
that's yeah.
I know freestyles are full.
Well,
Yeah.
So ordering golf carts, you can order them till August 26th, and then you can see all of the other rates. If you need to order an RV site, you have until September 6th. The good sites or certain sites will get booked up before then. So if you have a specific site in mind, go ahead and reserve it now. And then you must declare the breed before September 15th. So there's been a lot of like topic and questions about the breed high score awards. The horse has got to you have to declare it ahead of time. We took out the two breed rule, so that's not a thing anymore. And the class has to, or the breed has to be sponsored.
I think you're stuck on, I'm still seeing important dates.
Yeah, I said
Oh,
declare
okay.
breed.
Okay. Got
Just you have to declare it by September 15th. We can talk more about that.
it. Got it. Got it.
And then special awards. Since you guys are new, you guys are all eligible unless you've shown at the World Show previously for the Greenhorn Award. We also have special awards like the Military Veteran High Score Award. We have
Rescue,
all sorts of cool special awards.
Silver Spur.
The Silver Spur Award. Down here, you're going to see your class fees, stalling fees, administrative fees. I'm not going to go over that. You guys can read that yourself and the qualifying. So here are the awards. So we do ribbons from 1st to 10th place, and you'll pick them up. You'll pick up your test, and then you go to the show office. Make sure you pick up your test first. And then you get a choice of jacket, vest, or horse cooler, and you're going to pick that up at Ter
Tioga Territory.
Thank you. And they're going to ask for like a little slip that you'll get from the show office if you won your class, just to prove that you did win it. And so some rail classes,
It's
huh?
the awards office. The show office is where the show
Sorry.
secretary is.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant. Awards
office.
office. Yeah. They'll give you a little slip of paper when you go pick it up, and then you'll take that over to them to pick up your jacket, vest, cooler, whatever. Rail classes, yeah, so a lot of your bigger rail classes will be split, so just keep that in mind for your horse and entering classes. And they typically run, just full disclosure, as a like exhibitor, they run long typically. So make sure your horse is fit and like mentally fit enough to be able to handle going around the arena a couple of times. And then, yep, you can see breaking scoring ties. We have a rule book. It's basically comes down to your collective marks. I'll let you guys read through that. So we allow division championship awards, which is really cool. Some people get really fired up about it because they don't read the prize list. So we do ribbons 1st through 10th. And then we typically have a buckle for our champion. And what it is it's the average. So right here you see it's the average, the highest average percentage of the top 2 scores at the level. However, one score must be from either test 3 or test 4. So your top 2 scores could be test 1 and test 2, but for your average, one of those scores will be the highest score of test 3 or 4, if that makes sense. Does anyone have questions about that? And here are all of our division awards. So we separated out by junior and amateur for most levels, except up until level 3, and then we combine amateur and junior. Okay. And then we also have high school freestyle awards. I'm not going to go over all of that. Here are some of those special awards that you can sign up for. You must designate them before the first class of the show. It should be on your entry. We have the Silver Spur Award, which is the highest scoring horse and rider team that equals 75 years or more in combined age. Coolest thing ever. I think all the, excuse my French, I think all those people are badasses to be riding like that. So I think they're the coolest. And then we have the
Oh,
veteran
thanks,
high school.
Amanda.
You're welcome. I hope to be like you guys.
I'm in that category now.
That's awesome. Then we have the Veteran High Score Award. It's a military veteran, the high scoring military veteran, which is WDAA is the only organization I know that does that, and that's as a military veteran and spouse, means a lot to me. Um, so the World Show Greenhorn Award, if you're competing at the World Show for the first time, it's the highest scoring person who's been to the World Show at the first time, which is really cool. It's for junior and amateur riders only. We don't allow pros to be eligible for it. Um, Oh, the Harmony Award. So those of you guys who've ridden in the IOC, if you scored an 8 or higher in the Online International Challenge, every additional 8 or higher that you guys get at the World Show is an additional entry for the Harmony Award. So what that is this gorgeous Skyline Vaquero buckle. It is awesome. You can kind of read more about it here. It's just a raffle, and the more eights you get in Harmony, the more entries you get. So breed high score awards, we talked about this. This is the most updated version. I literally just downloaded this. So the horses must be registered within a breed registry, and registry papers must be submitted with the show entry. If your horse is a rescue, there's a little box that says basically explain why you believe your horse is a rescue, and you'll submit that. If you don't have papers and your horse isn't considered a rescue, then you're going to declare it as a grade horse, and that's fine. It's like, again, I don't know any other organization that gives a grade high score award. It's pretty cool. Only sponsored breeds will be awarded. So if you have a breed, and you don't know if it's, consider sponsoring it. Consider sponsoring some classes and divisions if you have in at NU. And then the test score must be over 60%. So, we want quality scores there. And the sponsorships will not be refunded if no horses of the sponsored breed qualify for the breed award. So,
And the reason behind that, and everybody needs to know this about sponsorships. When you sponsor a class or a division or a breed or whatever, that money isn't just going to sponsor that award. It is going to support the show, and the show supports WDAA. So any sponsorship you make is basically it's a donation to keep WDAA going. So there's a much bigger world behind, just your simple $50 wonderful sponsorship for a class that keeps us going. So we really appreciate the sponsorships.
yeah,
Did you see the
absolutely.
question about the off the track thoroughbreds, Amanda?
Oh, no, I did not. Sorry, I had the screen pulled up.
So it says if I don't have the Jockey Club papers, but they have the TIP number, does that count?
Mm.
You just declare it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would just submit that in. I could be wrong, Diney. Would you know?
Just declare it and submit it, and we can figure that out later.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for it right now.
Yeah.
And Ann Landers. Is there anyone we can call tomorrow to discuss? You mean about the barns, Ann? That was a little while ago you asked that question.
And
I'm
you can
sorry.
probably
Yeah, here, I will share. Okay, I'll pull up Zoom real quick.
Okay, so
Or
we can
Diney,
answer your
if
questions
you
here.
I
want
can answer
to
that question about the stalls if that's what you're asking.
team
'Cause you
chat,
can answer-
I think she can speak, can't you, or no?
that's
I
not it.
don't know. Can
Sure.
you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay. I
I'm disabled and I only have so many steps in a day. I can't afford a golf cart. I'd like to come to the show. I do the Pinto World Show and I buy a stall, but I don't use it. I haul in and have my horse saddled at the trailer. I can manage that. And I get on at the trailer and I ride to the show arena. But it appears like maybe that doesn't work here. Like I couldn't do that, or is there any way I can get my horse from? I know you don't approve of him being on blacktop, but he's used to being on blacktop there at Pinto, and I can manage getting him saddled and get on there at the trailer. Can I do that, or can I not do that?
So
Um,
there's some people who get on at their stalls and walk them down on horseback. And that's totally fine if your horse can handle it.
Walk them down where?
From wherever your barn stall is, you can get on from them there and then walk them to the arena on horseback. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just can't do two stalls. I can do a stall for my horse and I want to keep my tack in my trailer, but I can't manage the whole unloading process there at the stalls with the tack and all the equipment. I just can't do it.
So you want to haul in, tie him to your trailer, tack up there, and then ride over to the arena.
I can do that, or I can put them in a stall and get them to the trailer and tack them up at my trailer and get on at the trailer and ride them to the arena.
So what's up with that, Diney? It's because there's the haul-in area.
well, no, people cannot haul in. We don't allow haul in. She's talking about having her horse in a stall.
I
Yeah.
told
At
you
the
the
show.
first thing out of my mouth was I would buy a stall. I will pay for a stall. I understand you have to pay for a stall.
Yeah, so this is something you probably need to speak to the show manager and the show secretary about, because we are a lot more spread out than they are at Pinto, or I think you said Pinto that
Yeah.
you're at. So I,
Uh,
I would, in the prize list, there's the phone number for the show secretary and
So
the show.
yeah, you have the show manager right here is Jim Porche, and you have his phone number right there, and then the email, and then you have the show secretary, Susan Peacock. Um, you have her phone number there. I would say that would be more of a Jim question than a Susan question. What would you think, Darnie?
It'll probably end up with, she's more familiar with the facility.
Okay, yeah,
I'd start with Susan.
there we go. Can you see that number right there, Anne?
I've got Susan's number. I'll give her a call tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We've never had a situation like that before, so um okay. So let me get back to where we were. Okay, I think we were okay, yeah, we were right here. Um so here are your class numbers, and you can kind of see the way it's ran. So all of our rail and horsemanship classes are on Tuesday. And then we don't have ride times for that, so you're just going to have to watch your class ahead of time and kind of guesstimate like you would at like a breed or open show. And then on Wednesday is all of test one, Thursday is all of test two, and so on. Um, so here are some of our special events. On Monday night, we have the exhibitor meeting. It's at the Covered Arena, like we talked about, at 6 p.m. Friday night, we have the freestyle cocktail party and silent auction. That silent auction is super important because that money doesn't go back to WDAA. It goes to the state affiliates. So state affiliates will donate some sort of thing for you to bid on, and then whatever money that item draws, it'll go back to that state affiliate, that's one of the coolest ways that I see that WDA helps and promotes those state affiliates. So on Saturday night, we have a farewell celebration and award ceremony. It's 1 hour after the last ride time in the main arena grandstands. So just kind of look at the prize list, kind of account for that. And then that's where we're going to award all of our division, overall high score, and special awards. So it's free to attend that. On Tuesday night, we have the horse lifetime points in it. Oh my gosh, I'm a little fried, Diney.
World Pap.
Thank you. Um, we have that dinner. It's a ticketed dinner. But those of you who are registered or getting an award, it'll be Tuesday night at the Cantina. So we've got a lot of really cool stuff going on throughout. Here are some of our big competition rules. It's a USEF competition. You could be subjected to a drug test. I was last year. It's not a big deal. But just kind of be aware of that. Amateur riders must have a USEF amateur card, or you have to show in the open division. And then WDAA horse numbers are required this year. It's free to register for one. It's very easy to do, but it is a requirement.
I mean, go back to getting tested. You got USCF tested last year at the WDAA show.
I did.
So
I mean, it obviously came back clean, but yeah.
So what
Yeah.
happened when that
Yeah,
happened?
so after my ride, and it happened to be a not great ride, so it was extra salty. Um, they came up to me and they said, "Hey, you've been randomly selected for a USEF drug test. We will follow you back to the stall and see if your horse will give us a urine sample." I told them my horse would not give a urine sample with them standing in there, and they said, "That's okay. We will wait." So we waited about an hour. The horse did not pee, and so then they drew a blood sample and they said, "All right, if something pops back, you'll hear from us." And that was the end of that. So yeah, I don't drug my horses. So with that, if your horse is on any special medication, be sure to do a USEF declaration. I give my horses methocarbamol 12 hours, usually the night before the night each evening. It's legal 12 hours before your test, but you have to declare it on the USEF website. Make sure you follow the USEF rule books for medications, because saying "I didn't know" is not going to fly. Um, and that is in your USEF general rules. You can download the app on your phone. Okay. All right. Okay, numbers. This is important and it's unique to WDA World Show. So you're given 3 sets of numbers. You're given 2 large numbers, and that'll go on each side of your saddle blanket or your saddle while showing. And then you're given 1 smaller bridle number, and that's going to be placed on your halter or bridle every time your horse is out of the stall for any reason. Your horse must have a number on it. This is a USEF rule. Your horse must have a number on it anytime that it steps out of its stall. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I just place the smaller number on my horse's halter, so I never have to worry about it. And then I just place my 2 large numbers on my saddle, and that's what I do for the week. Okay. Do you guys want me to go through the class restrictions? Do you guys have any questions? I know it's getting late on time. Do you have any specific questions about the hack versus the suitability or horse rider combinations? Horses can't compete in more than 4 tests a day. I don't hear anything, so I'm going to keep on going. Dogs are allowed. I bring my dogs, but they must be on a leash. And please pick up their poop. It is so gross walking behind the horse trailers, letting your dog go to the bathroom and stepping in poop. Just pick up after them, please.
Amanda,
Hazardous.
I have
Yes,
a question. Are the rail classes in the indoor arena or are they in the covered arenas?
they're in the indoor arenas.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And what we do is we take out the middle dividers between the 2 arenas and open it all the way up. So it's the full width of the indoor arena, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and do you know if it's open for schooling like on Sunday?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, the arenas are open for schooling on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Oh, perfect.
And then in the evenings, after a certain time. We'll get to that part in just a minute.
Yeah, I think it's in the rule or in the show bill.
It's a prize list.
Yeah.
If we have really bad storms, sometimes they'll delay classes due to like lightning. It happened the first year I went to the World Show. So just be aware things can happen. The staff does everything that it can to keep us safe, and it is Oklahoma, so sometimes they do get severe weather. Um, so just be prepared to be flexible. It's only happened one time in all the years I've gone, but it can happen. If you guys have any questions, do you guys have any questions about these specific divisions? You guys can read through the prize list if you want. Do we have anyone on here who's doing a freestyle? Okay, I'll keep going.
I had a
Um,
question
oh yeah, go for it.
about the numbers. How are the numbers affixed to the saddle? Is it with pins? Is it a clip?
It's however you want. So they're given, so it's a large number and it has like this little metal, like bendy loop kind of thing. So you can put it in like a D ring of the saddle, or you can clip it onto a saddle pad. There is companies that make saddle pad like or number holders that you can put onto like your bucking strap ring, um, or like rear cinch, that sort of thing. Does that kind of help answer your question a little bit?
Yes, and I looked at the horses from prior shows. It looked like it might have had that ring, and that's what I wanted to find out because I'm used to ones that you have to pin on or whatever. So
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, you can pin it on or use magnets, but it's got like a little like a metal little bendy ring that you can use to kind of hook onto your saddle. It's really handy and it stays pretty secure too.
that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, anytime. Um, all right. So, you got to have a current health certificate. You need that to cross state lines. And then you have to have a copy of your Coggins test. And then within 6 months of the show, you got to have you got to show a vaccination record of the equine influenza virus and the equine herpes virus. So you're going to do that upon check-in. Um, as soon as your horse cannot get off the trailer until you show this information. So, like I said, as you're coming up into the grounds, I keep all my information in a binder and have it prepared on my little like console. So when I drive in, it's just right there and ready to go. Um, Entries are on a first come, first served basis. So if they fill up like they have last year, just be aware, don't wait till August 26th if you want to get your entries in.
So Susan did just text me. We're at 185 the last time she checked.
Okay.
And I think the maximum we can do is 250 is pushing it. So we've got a week,
Yeah.
3 weeks left.
Yeah. It's probably going to fill.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So you'll have your WDA membership numbers for the owner, the rider, trainer, and coach. And usually you need your USEF stuff too. So if you're an amateur. If you're a USEF member, Safe Sport you must be current on that. I just go ahead and get it done now.
Make double sure about that. Do it now. We had a couple
Yeah.
people that were fined $200 because
Woo.
it expired. Their Safe Sport expired between the time that they entered the show and they showed at the show.
Yeah, I just go ahead and do it now. So the cool thing is if there's scheduling in ride conflicts, notify the show secretary as soon as the times come out. People are typically willing to work with you. If they can't, contact the people in your division and say, hey, are you willing to swap with me? And then notify the show secretary. If you notify people and just say, hey, this is the situation, I've got an amateur in the arena while I'm here, they'll work with you. But you've got to communicate with them as soon as possible. Don't wait till the night before the show to make it happen. Final salute directions. This is super important, guys. We are running on such a short timeline and we don't want to run late. So after your final salute, take a few steps forward and then turn around. Do not walk all the way to the judge. So take a few steps towards C and then turn around directly to A and then walk like immediately out. Don't lollygag out, just get out to get the next rider in. Some people really hold up the show by doing that. Sometimes ride times change just be aware. I triple double check everything right before I leave, and then I triple double check things when I get there. Um, just be aware. It is your responsibility to show up on time for your ride time. Like I said earlier, your tests and scores will be posted on the show secretary results tab and then the scoreboard by the show office. Um, and then here's an important thing, scoring errors. I've never experienced one, but if you do, your scoring error must be reported to the show secretary within 1 hour of the official posting of the scores of the last class of the show day. So just be aware of that. You can't go back to them the next day and be like, hey, this is an error. Here are the facility information. Again, print this prize list off to where if you come in and there's an issue, you have all of these phone numbers and all the information. So the show secretary office will be open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 hour after the show. The WDAA office is open from Saturday, September 13th to the end of the show. And then the Lazy E stalling office hours, I feel like these have changed this year because they used to be open a lot more. But here are your stalling hours. If you're going to arrive at a time outside of these hours, contact Lazy E ahead of time so that they know you're open and that our show staff can get it all taken care of. Because again, we have to check you in because stalls are locked. So we kind of talked about stalls. So one of the important things is that there's no mats in them. They're a red dirt clay. So if you have a horse that needs mats, you're going to have to bring them in yourself. We do not have stall mat rentals available. It's not because the show staff hasn't tried. It's just Lazy E makes it really difficult to bring in mat rentals. So just be prepared for that. The stall chart will be loaded on the show website at least 1 week prior, so that way you can determine where you're at and kind of plan ahead of the best way to drive in and where to go. Like I said, stalls will be locked and you must check in before arrival, so you can't go around. So here are some facility fees they have. Clean up after yourself, guys. Be a good representative of WDAA. We don't want to be known as like some of the other events there that just trash the place. So there's a $200 fine for leaving any stall decorations or built parts or trash in your stalls. And there's a $300 fine for removing or altering any stall panels. So we have paddock rentals this year. Does anyone have any questions about that? I'm pretty sure they're all rented, right, Diney?
Yes.
Yeah. But big thing, water must be available at all times and no horses can be left out overnight. So and stallions have to be monitored at all times. You can't just leave them out there. So like I said before, there's no 24-hour staffing at the Lazy E. If you're going to arrive outside of hours, contact this phone number ahead of time. That way you have access to your stalls in your RV location. If you want to be stalled with certain people, all you have to do is just say, hey, I want to be stalled with these people, and it's pretty easy. It's the only way you can be
make sure that you all use the same barn name, the same group name, because the easier you make it on the show secretary, the better things will be.
Yeah. If you want priority stalling or like a specific place, we give priority to the groups or individuals sponsoring at least $400. They go to the top of the list. After that, it's kind of just, first come, first serve. It talks about the sponsorships here. Shavings must be purchased through Lazy E. We don't allow outside shavings. That's a Lazy E policy. They do have regular shavings, and then they have these like fly shavings that are like $12 a bag. They're supposed to like keep away flies. I don't notice a huge fly problem like I have like in other show facilities like Tulsa, but if your horse is super sensitive to bugs, be careful.
It
that's an
sounds
option.
like it is a very good idea to get the shavings that keep the flies away.
Yeah.
Particularly in the new barns.
Okay. Good to know.
And know that you have to get shavings. You cannot have your horse in a stall with no shavings. And the more shavings, the better, because your horse will be comfortable because it is a long, hot week.
And if they don't have enough shavings, they will be covered in red orange clay. So,
So, hey,
yep.
Amanda, there's a question here. Grace said, I came in late. Did y'all, where are you from, Grace? Talk about how the awards ceremony works. Maybe Diney could answer that. Such as after the class is over, has been placed, do we come back to the arena to do awards, photos, etc.?
No, we do not.
Texas, she said.
It's okay. Hey, I'm from North Carolina. I say y'all all the time. So what happens? So you'll complete your class. So this is for your test class. You'll do your class after the last test has been scored and verified. You'll be able to pick up your tests in the main indoor arena. So you'll walk in there, you'll pick up your test. It'll have a placing on there if you've placed top 10. Then you're going to take that test over to the WDAA show office in the covered arena and pick up your ribbon or your slip of that say that you were a class winner over in that office. If you've won a vest, a cooler, jacket by winning the class, you'll take that over to the jacket company inside the covered arena at some point during the show. And that way you can get it embroidered and pick out whatever you want. During the rail classes on Tuesday, on rail classes on Tuesday, they'll place it right there. And then you're allowed a little victory lap and they'll do a photo. But that's only for the rail and horsemanship classes.
But that's super fun.
It is super fun. It's just a time and logistics thing. We run out of time and we've got to get arenas drug and all of that for the test stuff. So
our show goes from about 7:30 in the morning in all four arenas until about 5:30 in the evening. And
sometimes even later.
Yeah, and that's, there's
I've
a
had ride
break
times
per
at
month.
7.
Yes, and then arena 1 and 2 then they go from, gosh, what, 6 to 9:30 with freestyles every
Yeah.
night. So
Mhm.
there's just no time for any kind of a ceremony during the show.
Yeah.
But after the show, that's when we have the big party.
Yeah,
give
and
it
there's a big party for the division awards.
And the top 10. So they
Yeah.
announce all the top 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and everybody goes to that,
Yeah,
That's the last
whether
night.
you win or not.
it's fun. You can order shavings with openstalls.com. That's what I do. But during the week, I just go over the stall office and say, hey, I need 4 bags over to this stall, and they'll get it right over to you. They also have feed and hay over there if you need to get it. And then they have like fans, fly spray, ulcer guard, all the things that you might forget at home. They've even got like some hoses and RV camp stuff over there too. So it's a pretty handy spot if you're like you have an oh crap moment.
And Diet Coke.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the question about schooling. Here's an important one. So on Saturday, all of the arenas are open from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, all 4 arenas are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday, rings 3 and 4 are from 7 to 8, and rings 1 and 2 are from 7 to 5. Rings 1 and 2 are in the indoor arena. So they're prepping to get ready for the rail classes the following day. So that closes at 5 p.m. prior to the day before the rail classes. So just be prepared for that. On Tuesday, the covered arena is open from 7 to 8. However, rings 1 and 2 will be being we got rail classes, horsemanship classes. They'll open for schooling after the rail classes from about 6 to 10 p.m. During competition hours, only the next 5 horses will be allowed in ring 1 and 2, which is the indoor. So those are levels 1 through 5. So 5 horses, it's about 25 minutes before your ride time, estimated based on a 5 to 6 minute time for test. And then only the next 3 horses will be allowed in rings 3 and 4, like we talked about, which is about 15 minutes in that covered. So just plan accordingly. Use that outside warm up over by the East Barn to your advantage. And then the arenas will be open for 1 hour after the last class of the day. And then we got to drag and reset for the following day. Turnouts and lunging, like we talked about before, it's available in designated areas only. We do not allow lunging inside of the like main riding arenas. We have designated lunging areas. So please use those. It's a safety thing. No horses can be left unattended in any of the turnouts and lunging areas. So please stay with your horse. And we typically, it's etiquette to leave them in there for about 20-30 minutes and then please move your horse out because there will be a line. All right. We talked about food and concessions. Here's a veterinarian on call. Again, I print all this out so that way I have it with me at all times. And then here's like other accommodation and like hookups. We already talked about that. Here are your USEF statements. Here's the facility map. Oh, here's the facility map. Right here in the prize list. I will say, guys, when you guys come off the interstate, the roads are rough. Please go slow. They are bad. Take your time, put your hazards on. I mean, be prepared. They don't fly through any of it. Some of the corners are really tight. Just be careful getting off that freeway. Once you get to Lazy E, the roads are lovely.
Roads. Get off the freeway that's closest to the Lazy E. If you take the one that says shortest route, it's a bouncy ride.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stop signs. A lot of stop signs. All right. I think that's the big thing. Some of the stuff that I do, I guess we can open this up to like a Q&A at
This
this point.
templog is a very good idea.
Do what?
We did this 2 years ago when we had all the crud going around, and it's just a very good best practice
To do
for
what?
all of the show.
Temperature.
Yeah, the temp log on the last page.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Some things that I do to keep my horse safe throughout the whole thing and set my horse up for success. Just some tips for you guys. So some of the things that I do, highly recommend like ulcer guard or omeprazole of some sort. Protect your horse from ulcers or colic. That's something that I personally do for any horse going to the World Show. It's a stressful trip. Just be prepared. Try to keep them, healthy in that way. Some of the other things that I do, I hang my phone number and my contact information outside of stalls, so where heaven forbid a horse is having an issue, someone can contact you. And then I make friends with all my neighbors. So that way, if heaven forbid there's an issue, we can all kind of band together. What kind of questions do you guys have?
Somebody had a question on here. If you aren't doing rail classes, how important is it to be there Monday for exhibitors meeting, traveling a distance, trying to plan?
I
Can I
recommend
address
being
that
there.
one? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they talk
I would-
about things you are allowed to do, things you're not allowed to do, places we're not allowed to be, places we are allowed to be. They talk about some important stuff.
To show staff, the WDAA leadership.
Mhm.
You can ask any question you want that night. It's a good thing to be at.
Yeah.
I'll add that, and I'm one of the ones that speak that night. Yes, that is very important to be there, but it's more important for your horse to be on site and to get settled. So you're not hauling in last minute and then, showing your horse. It's good to have your horse there a day ahead of time to be able to settle in.
Cool.
Somebody also asked, do you have to declare omeprazole beforehand for USEF?
No.
I don't think so.
Omeprazole is not a controlled substance in that way. What they're talking about is if you give your horse bute, Banamine, methocarbamol, anything that is in the controlled substance list. I would declare Equiox if you use it. anything that you have to get from a vet, I would declare it. It's better to over declare rather than get drug tested and pop hot.
Yeah.
If you're riding multiple, huh?
I wouldn't give any more vet advice,
Okay,
honestly.
yeah.
Sorry.
If you're
I
riding
just,
in a multiple horses in the same class, are the ride time spaced gated classes? Yeah, usually. Yeah. And if you need more time, just contact the show secretary as soon as ride times are posted. Michelle, how soon before? What if you suspect colic and want to give Banamine? I'd contact the show vet. That's the best. I would honestly that. Just look at your USEF rule book, guys. Like there's a chart of all medications that you may want to give your horse, and it tells you how far out you have to pull it from your first class, the dosage that you're allowed to give, or if you're not allowed to give it at all. Just look at your USEF rule book and then consult your
It's
vet.
got herbs in there too.
Yeah, there's certain herbs that are restricted. What else? Oh, there's no hot water at the wash racks. So if you have a princess pony like mine, you might want to bring a hot water heater or like one of those little handheld hot water things. I think the water is really cold, and so does my horse. Bring extra hoses, or we have hoses at the end of each barn, and then the wash towels. Oh, extension cords. Bring extension cords because we have to wrap our extension cords up and over. We are not allowed to have any cords on the ground. And so the extension cords in the barns, and at least in the old barns, they're on a pole about 10, 15 feet away from the stall. So you have to have them go up the pole and up around the rafters and then back to the stall. So bring plenty of extension cords and zip ties and duct tape because they'll have people walking through the barns and they'll tell you to pick up any cords that are on the ground. It's just a safety hazard.
Bring a lock for your textile too. I don't know what
Huh?
reminded me. Bring a lock for your textile. You could put a big lock on your textile.
Yeah, you can do a lock or a bike lock. I've never had an issue with theft there, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. Oh, my stomach growled. I'm so sorry if you heard that. It was really loud.
We didn't hear it.
You're hungry.
Okay, good. I had one more thing to say that was really important.
Somebody
I'm sorry.
asked before we got here. If you have a horse that's allergic to things like fly spray, anything because it flies around there. There's so many horses.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can ask to be on the end or somehow, I mean, sometimes it's tough in those situations to accommodate that type of thing. Or stallions can definitely be on the end. That was also, I think, in the prize list. But
yeah, they do a good job they don't put you on top of each other typically. There's typically space between you and another party, which is nice. I have a horse that is not allowed to be vaccinated anymore, and I have a USEF letter saying like she cannot be vaccinated, and so I have to practice extra biosecurity. And I've never had a problem. Fans are absolutely loud, and I highly recommend them, Chris.
bring two, one for yourself and one for the horse because it is hot there.
Yeah, it's toasty.
The dirt is red, and you will have red
and
dirt.
one other thing, don't feel the need to bring like a wheelbarrow for your manure. There are these big trash cans out in front of the stalls, and that's where you're going to put all shavings and manure. No trash go in there. It's just shavings and manure, and that's what they use. They'll pick them up every morning and through the day, and they'll take out the manure. So if you're trying to have space on your trailer, don't worry about bringing like a wheelbarrow unless you use it to transport things. They have like their own manure trash can system there.
But bring muck buckets. Bring muck buckets.
I was just gonna ask, do you bring the trash can over by your stall, or how do you get the manure to the trash can?
We usually just share them, to be honest. Like I bring it over to my stall and I put it in there and then put it back.
Okay. And you already said this earlier, Amanda, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I logged on a little late. When you first arrive there, do you go to, where's the the show office that you would check in before unloading your horse.
Yeah, I'll pull up the map because I know we had a couple of people who came in a little bit later, and I'll screen share.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Share. Okay. Can you see the map?
No, yeah.
Oh, now we can.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna enter Lazy E from this road here. So you're gonna drive down and make a right. Most likely, you're gonna come this way. So you might come from this way. I doubt it, but you might. You're gonna come down this way. You're gonna drive down just this little bit right here. You're gonna see flags and some WDAA staff parked right here. Sorry, you're gonna drive down to right here. They're gonna stop you here and they're gonna check you for your health certificate, your Coggins, and vaccination record. Once you do that, then they'll unlock your stall and you'll be able to go wherever your stalls are. But this is the checkpoint, and there's a couple people doing the checkpoint. But you're not allowed to unload your horse off the trailer until you pass that checkpoint.
Okay.
It's just a health and safety issue.
We'll be in the new barn, but we'll still check in at over by the old barns.
Yep. Yeah, this is the entrance to Lazy
Okay.
E Arena. There's no other entrance.
Okay.
So you'll come down this way and get stopped right here and then come on around.
Okay.
Diney, didn't you say you have to turn around and go back out down Forest Hills Road to Post to get to
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're in the new barns, there's a big loop where you can turn around, go back out, and then you'll go along Forest Hills Road to Post Road and then pull into the new barn star.
Yeah, and what I would recommend if you're going to the new barns, this is the way I would turn around. I do not turn right in here because you're gonna have a lot of people unloading here into these permanent barns. I would come down here and then depending on how big your rig is, loop around this way. I wouldn't even pull in here because you're gonna have people parked. Or you can come all the way around. There's a big parking lot here. You can loop around and then come back around. But yeah, if you're in the new barns, you're gonna follow the stars down this way and come around.
And then you said earlier that there's trailer parking by the new barns in the teal area.
the teal lot is camping.
Camping.
That's a grass hookup area.
Okay,
Yeah,
so if we're
car
there,
parking, I think.
then we would park in the day parking trailer drop.
If you're not hauling or you're not staying in your trailer, yeah, this is our trailer drop area right here.
Okay.
It's pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just let me know. It's a really fun show and it's such a great experience. Like I said earlier, everyone's so kind and positive. If you need help or you see someone who needs help, don't be afraid to step in and make friends or ask for help. People are generally really kind. We like at any WDAA recognized show, we allow for callers at every test and at every level. There are people there who are willing to do it. Typically, it's like $10 or $20 per test, depending on who you're using, but that's totally available there too. And then, yeah, Kristen or Diney, can you guys think of anything else to
I was
cover?
going to talk about the volunteers for a second.
Oh, good idea.
So, isn't it Joanne Sarney? Who's the one that's around all the time? Yeah.
Joanne Sarney is in charge of the runners. So she's collecting.
about this big, and she's the nicest person in the entire universe. And she's been volunteering for how long now? A long time.
A long time.
So if you ever see her, she can answer a whole lot of questions because she's around. But there's a lot of volunteers that are just coming. I know, Chris, that you said you were coming to volunteer. But the volunteers are key to, I believe, to the whole show. And if you ever get the chance just to come just to volunteer, it's a wonderful week. So if you're thinking about showing, think about just coming and hanging out, and you have an instant friend group. So
yeah,
I
that's a
did
good point.
Yeah, but they seem to know who's who Jim Porcher is, if you had something going on, usually a volunteer. And then did you talk about the the bit checks and all that stuff at the end of your test?
No, but that's a good point. Would you like to talk about it?
Would I?
Yeah.
Yes, I can. But you were the perfect person for this job. I knew it.
No,
So
you're good.
speaking of
I can
volunteers,
talk about it if you'd like me to.
well, let me just say about the volunteers. So when you go down into the indoor arena, someone will check you in there and volunteer. And then the bit checks, there'll be an official person, but there's also volunteers around there. And throughout the week, you'll get to know them. And they just do a fantastic job. And then if the judges school is there, which you won't see all these people, but there's a bunch of volunteers that help with them too. They get them, they get judges food or they help there'll be judges there, right, Diney? That are getting certified.
Yes, judges education training, yes.
So you'll see them up in the stands and they spend that whole week there putting their time in, judging tests. They don't really interact with the competitors at all, but that's a big, big deal. So it's if you see them around and there's a lot of volunteers that help up there too. But anyway,
And
so
it's a wonderful program, absolutely wonderful program.
and if you do get the chance to go to judges school, I know Amanda's going to be a judge. I went 3 times, and now Johnny, I'll just come as a volunteer because I'm not going to be a judge. But
I'm
it's
going for
really,
my big R now. Yeah, it's wonderful.
it's really a fun
Congratulations.
program. That is amazing, Chris.
Thank
So
you.
anyway, so the volunteers are down on, they'll be helping pass out ribbons. They'll be well, Vivian's usually down in the office, but there'll be volunteers in the office. And, people are usually there to help you. So don't feel like you're there by yourself and somebody can't help you because there's a lot of people and you can ask anybody.
Yeah, everyone's really friendly and open.
But yeah, talk about the bit check because that's important.
Yeah, so Lynn, there are mounting blocks there. Yeah, totally. And I think they're like the 3-step ones too.
Yeah.
So you can get on a tall horse. Um, yeah, so bit checks are pretty easy. So you'll go down into the arena, you'll check in with the show staff there with your steward and say, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah. I'm number blah blah blah. My ride time is blah blah blah." And I usually say, "Are we running on time?" And they'll tell me yes, no, whatever. And then you'll go in, you'll ride your test. You enter from the inside of the arena. You don't go around the outside. Just an important note. I go and I check in and tell them my ride. I tell them my number and I keep it very brief and I get things moving very quickly. I don't take my time on all that. I ride my test. I walk my few, halt salute at C, walk my few steps forward at A I halt salute, walk my few steps forward, turn around, go back to A. As you exit, there's going to be like those little pig fencing things that you walk into. You'll come out. You'll have a steward there who will say, "Hi, I'm here to do your bit check." So they'll look at your spurs typically before you hop off. So if you're wearing chaps, you'll just kind of pull up the flaps on both sides and they'll be like, "Yep, you're good." And then you'll dismount. So you can bring your reins over the horse's neck. Before you undo anything, if you have a cavesson, they're going to check to see if you have a 2-finger rule and that you can slip your finger underneath the cavesson. Then you're going to pull your headstall bridle
or your curb strap.
Yep, curb too. You're going to pull your headstall off. You're going to present the bit to them. They're going to look at it. They wear gloves, and so they're just checking your horse's mouth, make sure there's no blood. They don't open it or anything. They just kind of take a peek. They look at your bit, and then they say, "Yep, you're good to go." I have a friend or whoever is helping me bring a halter. And then I put my halter on my horse and walk him back to the barn instead of putting the bridle back on. But if you have a horse that doesn't really care, you can pot it back in and then walk out. If you have a dressage whip, they're going to measure it. So if you have one that you've used for a while, be sure to measure it ahead of time because they measure that flash. And sometimes the flash kind of unravels and gets longer. And so just make sure you measure it really good before you go down there.
Also, Amanda, down before you go in and you can see the schedule. I think you can see the scratches if you're on your phone.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can ride your ride time, so you don't have to go early if you don't want. And just like all the other rules of a regular show, but know who you're following.
Yeah.
That somebody's not trying to find you. That's something that I noticed a lot. It's like, where's number 168? Where'd she go? So
Yeah.
you want to move it along because they're stacked up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's something I typically do is I say, and who am I following again? And point them out.
You
Cool.
don't want to be yelling, Amanda, you're next.
Oh my gosh. I literally have nightmares about missing my ride time.
I bet. It's
Yeah.
like college nightmares. I can remember.
Yeah, I have nightmares about that, and the nightmares, not that this has ever happened, but I have nightmares of a show manager calling me saying, "Hey, where are you? You're judging our horse show today." Those are my two nightmares.
Oh, no.
All right. So what other
my horse's
questions
eye
do you,
on a Zoom that I decided to create, and I'm standing there going, I can't get over there, and my
you're
phone
good.
is out in the car.
You did,
let me just
horses
bring
come
up,
first.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're
I'm
good.
just seeing some of the comments about asking about stall size
Yeah.
and I guess somebody had called the lazy E. That all of that is in the prize list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stall size, everything about stalls, the fines on if you damage anything. All of this information is in the prize list. So try to make sure that, that you check the prize list first.
Before you call.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Do you guys have any other questions, or Diney, Kristen, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
I think that was it. Besides, it is really a fun week.
You
If you
didn't
live,
you
if
didn't
you live, it's
specify
a fun
which
week.
you didn't specify which Kristen, and I'm so
Oh,
excited.
Yay. Awesome. Well, good
Amanda,
luck,
thank you.
guys.
I knew you would know everything there was to know. And
Oh,
then
no, you're good.
it's also recorded, and some other people wanted some access to it. So, Diney, how do they get access to the recording? Or Amanda would call.
I didn't, yeah.
So we decided, Kristen, you weren't here. We decided that we'd host another one. So I'll keep this recorded, and if people ask for it, I'll send them the link to it if they shoot me their email. But Diney and I talked about, I'll host another one a little bit closer. That way, we can put it out in the newsletter, and if there are any more people. Also, just one last thing, all of our newcomers. If you see me around, please come up and say hi. Please stop by the stalls. If you guys have questions there, feel free to come by. I'll have stalls, and I'll have like navy curtains, and you'll see me out there. Don't be shy. Come up, talk, say hi, introduce yourself. I'm super excited for you guys, and I wish you guys like the best of luck and safe travels. It's going to be a great time.
That was the other thing I had for you, Amanda, because you're very good because you come a distance too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you talked about it this time, but you're really good at hauling long distance and like what could happen.
Oh my
and
gosh.
be prepared for that. And not that we want to buy trouble, but like Bob and I had a flat tire the first year. You had something happen. Joanne Williams lost something off of her truck.
She lost a tire.
The whole like
US rider, US rider, US rider.
Yes.
US rider.
I used US Rider twice on my way home from the World Show last year.
And it's a WDAA member benefit. So get it before you leave. It's a great, great, great thing. Amanda can attest to that.
Yeah, I've used them a lot, and they're great. It takes me 2 days to travel. Out there, I lay over outside of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the east side of North Carolina, so I've got to get through mountains. So I totally understand those of you who are hauling a long ways. Highly recommend you guys get your truck inspected, your trailer inspected, carry 2 tires. If you can afford it, spring for the highest ply that you possibly can that fit your tire or fit your trailers. Because if you're coming from the east side, Arkansas roads are just horrendous. And it's like every year I buy brand new tires and I blow tires in Arkansas without fail. And so just be prepared for that. Just be prepared. US Rider is great.
And then the other little thing I thought of was just like Creature Comforts. There's a Tractor Supply. There's a Costco that's not too far away. The shopping downtown at the stockyards and the food downtown is amazing. It's a little bit further. But
Yeah.
Little Guthrie has the cutest little restaurant and a great Mexican restaurant. It's really Western. It's very,
Yeah.
very Western.
It's
But
little.
but there's everything that you need within a real close, just off the
Yeah.
highway.
Yeah, Guthrie is on the smaller side of things. There's a little restaurant there, a Mexican restaurant, and there's a few little fast food chains. I think it's like a Taco Bell, and so
There's
on.
a
There's like
place
a
that has
small Italian
pie.
restaurant.
The pie
Um,
is so good. If we can't get Jim Porche to make us pie, then we go
oh
to
my gosh, I drool over his pies. Um, Also, if you go south towards Edmond, there's tons of places to eat. Um, Down that way towards Edmond and Oklahoma City, there's a Target down that way. And then, like Kristen said, the Oklahoma Stockyards, or Oklahoma City Stockyards, if you have time, highly recommend.
the
It's pretty
steak there.
awesome.
Anywhere the steak in Oklahoma has been fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, there's good food all around.
Except I will also tell you this, there's a little gas station where you come in, you can get gas, and I don't know if they're still there, you guys, Dinah, you probably know, that this mom and pop make Hawaiian food or something. It
Oh,
was
wow.
spectacular.
Yeah, yeah,
Spectacular, like way over the top in the gas station. So there's funky
Yep.
stuff like that.
yep, yeah. There, it's all good. The worse the place looks, the better the food is.
Pretty
Usually,
much.
yeah.
Anyway, so there's some ambiance around, I think, which just makes it very cool.
Yeah.
But safety first, and lots of water for the horses and lots of traveling and all that good stuff.
Oh, I did have one thing. There is a mobile RV repair guy that you can, God forbid something happened to your RV or horse trailer while you're there. They have people that'll come repair stuff
Oh, I didn't know that.
to the, yeah, I had to use it last year. Last year was a rough year, man, I'm telling you. Blew out tires, horse trailer caught fire at Briarfest, lost my AC at the World Show. It was a year. But they do have people that will come out and repair. It is pretty handy. Hopefully
Okay,
none of you have to use it though.
Yeah.
No drama, llama.
No drama llamas. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much
Great.
for coming. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
all of
Amanda,
you so
very,
much.
very much for meeting my
Yeah.
request, and then I don't even show up on time.
No, thanks for the idea. It was awesome.
Yeah, it worked out great. All right, so let us know when your next one is, so we can
Yeah,
talk.
definitely will. Well, I hope you all have a great night.
Thank you.
Maybe we
Great
can
job.
get Amanda
Absolutely
to come.
great
Thanks,
job.
everybody.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.